guys, welcome to Tutorials Point. In this video, I will be giving you strategies and time management tips for your reading module. Let's have a look at the overview. So basically in this video, we will be trying to figure out what are the common hurdles that students face during the reading exam. Then we will try to come up with an effective method to overcome these hurdles and score better in your IELTS reading exam. Let's have a look at the common hurdles before we move ahead. So basically, students usually complain that they tend to lose track of time as they're trying to read the passage word to word and understand it. Then the second most faced problem is they're unable to complete all the 3 passages within the given amount of time, that is 60 minutes. So now, let me give you a couple of strategies which will help you overcome these hurdles. To begin with, the first and foremost thing is time management. Time management is the most important thing for you to score better in your IELTS reading exam. As you know, the passages will be in increasing order of difficulty and you will have to plan your time accordingly, which means you will have to spend lesser time on the easier passages and more time on the difficult ones. Let's see how you can split your time. So, for passage 1, you can allot 15 minutes. For passage 2, spend 20 minutes. And for passage 3, you will have 25 minutes. This way, you will have more time for the third passage, which is the most difficult one. So if you want to score better in your reading exam, you will have to be very strict with yourself in terms of self-discipline. So let's see how you can apply self-discipline here. To begin with, you will have to time every move of yours during the reading exam. Inculcate this habit right from your practice sections itself. Do not spend more than 1.5 minutes per question. This is very important and you will have to stick to this rule at any cost. Then move on once the designated amount of time for that particular passage or question is allotted and is over. If you do not do this, you will lose time for the following passages. So be very strict with yourself that you move on once the designated amount of time is over for that particular question or passage. Develop a method, stick to it and practice it. Once you stick to a method, just keep practicing that method over and over again. Do not try to develop different methods and keep trying to practice that. This will not help you on the day of your exam. Moving on, let's look at some time management hacks. Yes, there are hacks here. So, firstly, to begin with, wear a wristwatch to the exam. Although there will be a wall clock at the examination center, you might not be able to see it clearly. So, it's suggested that you wear a wristwatch which will help you keep track of your time easily. Make a note of the time on the question paper itself once you start a passage. Do not spend more than the designated amount of time for that particular passage. By doing this, you might lose time for your next passages. So be very strict with yourself and do not spend even a minute more than the designated amount of time for that particular passage. Then come back to the questions that you have missed if time permits. So don't be stuck at one particular question, or if you're not able to understand something in a passage. Just move on and come back later if you have time. Then we have a method. So let me give you the most tried and tested method and one of the best methods for applying in the IELTS reading exam. So firstly, for this method, you will have to skim through the passage and try to get the gist or the outline of what the message is in that particular passage. Then you will have to read and understand all the questions related to that passage. After you read and understand the questions, go back and read the passage in detail completely, and once you get all the related keywords from the question in the passage, you will be able to answer your questions, which is the last and final step. So this was it about developing a method for yourself to answer better in the reading exam. Let's have a look at the summary of what we have gone through in this video. To begin with, we learned how to manage our time efficiently, be strict with yourself, apply all the time management tips and hacks right from your practice sections, practice the 4-step methodology diligently until it becomes second nature. So this was it about the strategies for reading. In my upcoming video, I will be sharing the tips and tricks for your reading module. Do stay tuned. Thank you.
Tutorialspoint.com. Simply easy learning.